All right, so AI has been a really, really big thing. Let me be real clear with you guys. I did all my Rainbow Trends coding way back in the day before all this AI stuff kicked off, which I guess was a good thing because it forced me to learn from coding instead of engineering. And I've dabbled with the AI over the past 2 years. Some dudes like Dave Kennedy and Quinn have tried to get me on some of the AI stuff, and I'd play with it a little bit, and it wasn't for me. I'd turn away. Past 3 to 4 months, that's really changed, particularly with the Claude from Anthropic has really, really changed how I do stuff. And frankly, the agentic team that I'm building in Linux, I don't know Linux or JavaScript or Python, so it's really kicking butt and helping me learn through this. And it's eye-opening how strong Claude 4.6 is, to the point that it's actually got Bernie Sanders to interview the actual AI bot. So I wanted to cover some stuff that I've learned because I made some mistakes along the way and wanted to share some stuff with you guys to give you some insight.
At how AI impacts American society.
I don't know who came up with this.
In terms of economics and job loss, in terms of the mental health of our kids, in terms of what it will do to the political process. What I want to talk to you about is another issue, and that is the impact of AI on privacy. I want to know, among other things, just how much of the information that AI...
So yeah, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just gives you kind of an idea of how important or how big Claude is actually getting attention. If you guys don't remember, Claude is the one that Pete Hegseth threw down on a few weeks ago because they wanted to keep using it in war unrestricted. The CEO didn't like that, and then they got labeled a supply chain risk, which, whatever, that doesn't sound too crazy. What that actually means is no entity or business who has a government contract, which is a lot of them, can do any work with the government anymore if they're using anything from Anthropic, which is crazy because, man, Anthropic's really good. But I wanted to show you guys some stuff that I've learned. If you guys haven't seen Crypto Twitter, or Twitter just absolutely covered in Mac Minis, I want to catch you guys up on some things that I've learned, for better or for worse. My original plan with an old workstation is working. It's just not as best as I thought it would be. So, but I'll walk you through it, guys, because there's some definite alpha, because I know a lot of you guys are going to pick this stuff up, just how curious you guys are. Long story short, you need really, really powerful graphics cards for the most part to do this. If you want to host it locally, and I'm going to go into cover it later in the towards the tail end of the stream where NVIDIA is really latching into this. I used to think AI was expanding and only going to be in the cloud servers because of how big it is. The past month, they've been downsizing the models and getting to the point where they're running on local hardware very efficiently, and they're kicking butt. Stuff we've never seen before on small models are absolutely mind-blowing. But I wanted to show you guys some alpha so you guys don't waste money, you guys don't waste time, and you can learn from some of the stuff that I'm dealing with right now. And we'll go from there. So, long story short, there's basically two types of models. There's dense models and there's MOEs. Dense models run all parameters at all times. They have to have video card hardware. Right now, the king of that is NVIDIA. All the stuff's kind of optimized for NVIDIA. You can make AMD or even Intel stuff work, but it's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is not even making production cards anymore for 2026. They don't have. There's a chip shortage. I forgot to cover. I'll sprinkle that. I'll cover that in the weekly stream roundtable in the Discord if you guys want to talk about it. But long story short, these cards are hard to find. These cards are expensive. The prices in the used market are only going up, up, up. 3090s, which were $500 6 months ago, are now $1,000. So I wanted to show you guys some cheat codes. At a minimum, you want video cards that have 12 gigabytes of RAM or higher, not too old, and preferably 16 or 24. Your automatic go-tos are going to be the 5090, 4090, 3090. Those are expensive. The best bang for the buck is the 3090. The sleeper cards I wanted to put you guys on that you guys may not be aware of. 3090, 4090, 5090, those things require a ton of power, like 400 watts each. That's hard for your computers to pop these in. Your power supplies may not handle it. You may not have enough connectors. A lot of stuff. Now, there are some sleepers in these mixes that you can pick up secondhand that are really, really good. The ones I want to focus on right now are some of the 5000 series, the 4000, and then some of the 3000 sleepers. And I want to show you guys this real quick, so this will help you guys out. Or if you guys are clearing out your old mining hardware and offloading it, this will help you pick which ones to maybe keep, so you can actually make some of your LLMs here. So we're going way back. This is the 3090. This is the OG. You can get these for $1,000. 24 gigabytes. This can handle a lot of the 27 billion dense models. These are really, really good. Pick them up secondhand, but they are thermal beast. These things do a lot of power, take a lot of space. They're normally more than 2 slots wide, and they're premium. That being said, they're awesome. It's one of the best used cards you can get. These are legit worth $1,000. The sleepers that I want to put you guys on. So, NVIDIA this week, I think I've got it in the stream queued up. I don't know. I've got so many slides. There's a sleeper that we'll get to. It's not this one yet. The current 5000 series sleeper, though, is the 5060 Ti. They quit making these things officially in 16 gigabytes. They're now making them in 8 gigabytes. But if you pick up these, you can get these for about $500 or so, give or take, brand new, maybe in the 4s used. This uses one 8-pin connector. It runs on less than like 250 watts, and you can stack multiple of these on your motherboard right next to each other. They'll fit. You try to put two 3090s next to each other, they're too big. Yes, hey runner, you're wrong. There's an exemption to that. There's a rule. Blah blah blah. Yeah, they did make some 3090s for China back in the day that were 2 slots wide and have blowers, but you're going to be importing those back from China. NVIDIA got really pissed when those were made and they shut them down, so you don't see a lot of them. But current gen, they just quit making these and they now knocked them down to 8 gigabytes due to the memory shortage. But a modern 5060 Ti, this is a good starting point. You can do a lot of damage with this, especially if you get 2 of them. You got 32 gigabytes. You're cooking. It's still going to be slower than a 3060 or a 3090, but you're still doing some damage. The next one, there's a 4000 series. It's a little slower. Ironically enough, they're about the same price as the 5060 Ti, but if you find a really, really good deal on one of these are really good too. Same thing, they're low wattage, a single 8-pin. You can slap multiple of these in some of these old workstations or your gaming cards, or your gaming motherboards. Another one that a lot of people, the budget king that people are sleeping on big time, is the 3060 12 gigabyte version. A lot of these are 6 gigabytes, but you can get these that are 12 gigabytes. You could pick these up used for like $200. You can run Quinn 9 billion parameters on this and do agentic, like actual programming. It's really awesome. And they're less than 250 watts. You could string a bunch of these on your motherboard and do pretty well. If you can get the 16 gigabytes, that's way preferred. If you can get a 3090, that's even better. But you guys balling on a budget, these are sleepers, and these are all over the used marketplace because the gamers are walking away from this. They're going into the 4000 and the 5000 series. So it's pretty cool. On the kind of side sleeper, the wild card that I'll show you guys is the Intel Arc B50. Doppel used to joke about these back in the day, but it's a 16 gigabyte card, brand new, 75, I think they're 75 watts. They don't even need a power supply cord. They just run straight off the PCI slot, and they're a little slower than a 4060 Ti, but you can pick these up brand new for $350 on sale right now, and I'm like, man, the LLMs aren't going to be as optimized for AMD, let alone an Intel card. But dude, I was looking at these brand new today for $349. I was like, man, I might do it, and then I inadvertently have some Doppel bait. But I move on. Now, to cover the Apple situation in the room. Apple had a phenomenal thing, and everybody's posting on YouTube about stacking Mac Minis on top of each other. Oh, they're $500 and they can run OpenClaw. They totally can run OpenClaw. They totally can. But the guys who are actually doing this are connecting these to cloud servers to run the models. You can't do LLM AI hardcore on these for the most part. That being said, if you oh, Runner, you're wrong. You can blah blah blah. I hear you. Just give me a second. Let me walk you through this. You buy the base $499 M4 one with 16 gigabytes of RAM. You're not doing much. You might as well buy a 4060 or a 3060 and call it a day. What the people are actually doing with LLMs on these, at the minimum, they're getting the 64 gigabytes. That pushes this thing up to $2,000 for a Mac Mini. And if you run this on a dense model that has all the parameters online, it will be like 5 tokens a second. It will be super, super slow. That being said, it can run the MOEs. What's an MOE, Runner? Well, if there's 27 billion parameters, an MOE only runs like 2 or 3 billion at a time, and these things are actually kind of fast for that kind of. And when these come out with M5s, it's really going to wake up. The M5 data is just showing up now. The monster in the Apple room that can kind of do this actually is the Mac Studio. The problem with this is these things at a minimum are $2,000, and if you fully load one of these things up, I think you can hit $8,000 on a Mac Studio with no monitor. So I'm not telling you to do that because, in my opinion, if you're going to spend $10,000, you might as well have 6 3090s or whatever just screaming, or a 5090, right? Keep that in mind. That being said, if you happen to already have a MacBook Pro or Mac, stuff like this, these things can actually run some of these LLMs now. I actually fired up Quinn 3.5 on my dad's M4 MacBook, and it's not terrible. Now, the benchmarks for the M5s are just starting to come out. Now, this is a Blender test. This isn't AI LLMs, but this is showing you the sheer power of what the Apple Silica is actually doing. That's a 5090 GPU versus an 82... That's a 5090 versus an M5 8250 in Blender. This is insane. Shout out to all the Twitter followers, or the Twitter viewers. These are insane numbers. The M5 Silica is so beast mode that it reminds me of when NVIDIA dropped the 3000 series. So I'll circle back to this in the end when we actually get into the AI models, but that's my kind of like my little intro alpha of what I've learned and what I would go prioritize if I was spending my budget again. I would be looking for not buying a Mac Mini, and more along the lines of focusing on getting my GPUs up. 3090s and 5060 Ti's are my current favorites. I'm actually probably going to eventually shove a 5060 Ti next to my 3090. I've got a 1080 in there right now, but it's having some thermal issues. So moving on.